This is what I've been learning. I think you guys could really benefit from this, especially being in your generation, because you guys are young. Life can be very, very mundane. It can be very boring. Days can feel long. And what I'm noticing about all of us, though, we desire to be stimulated, to be excited, to be thrilled. We want things to be quick. We want things to be fast. We want results fast. The world and where technology is going, we expect things to be fast. We don't like inconvenience. We don't like waiting. Patience is not the ability to wait. It's how you act while you're waiting. We're being wired to have a shorter attention span. Like, there's so much going on, but I need to say this because to thrive through life, you have to be able to steward the mundane parts of life. The quiet days when you're not getting any calls, emails, text, rewards, trophies, accolades. Because we're in a world where people are posting content. If you're not going viral, if you're not being recognized, like, there's a season where sometimes things are very quiet. And that's throughout life. And what I've learned is some people, unfortunately, because they were uncomfortable with the silence or the stillness, they just made moves. And now they're slaves to plans that they made that were never God. And that's dangerous because you end up wasting a lot of money, a lot of time, sometimes heartbreak, just bad stewardship of your heart, and then bad stewardship of expectations on life. Most people get heartsick. The Bible says heart sickness is unrelenting disappointments. Constantly being disappointed, but imagine expecting life to always be this thrill when, in fact, there's going to be some long seasons where you may not see any results. You may not see any progress. And what I'm praying for the generation in our generation is that we're okay with being diligent over time, being patient over time, but then receiving the fruit of the Spirit to be patient. Because as you walk with God, you'll learn that a lot of what people struggle with is patience. See what I'm saying? But it helps when you recognize that, for the most part, even if the day is silent, that's okay. That's normal. We don't need to be up to something to satisfy some of those inner insecurities or those fears that maybe you got to be doing something. No. You actually can rest. That's the reward of the sons and the daughters. God gives rest to those that He loves. We don't have to always be up to something. We don't always have to be striving. No. We could relax and enjoy this beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? And that's normal.
I just said, what are some practical things to do in your waiting period when time?
Practical things to do in your waiting period. I told this story before, and I said, when you're in a doctor's office or you go into a doctor's appointment, you ever notice how when you go into like the lobby, they have like magazines, TVs, or just things to do? Like, I noticed that if you are doing any of those things that they have for you to do in the lobby, it seems like if you ever get like invested in it, like even if you're not interested, like it's like the magazine, like I don't really want to read this magazine. I don't really want to watch this show on the TV. But if you ever get invested in it, if you ever just take advantage of what's in front of you, I always tease and I say you end up on like page 45 of an article you mad interested in. You're actually watching the show and it didn't intrigue you at first. The whole time you're like, oh, like this, I'm low key tapped in. Before you know it, they're calling your name. And you're like, oh wow, I was so focused on these things in front of me while I was waiting that by the time I was called, see, I didn't even recognize how long I was waiting. And so what I say to that, like, what do you do while you're waiting? There's things to do in front of you. There's things that God has given you to do. And it doesn't even have to be super deep. It could be simple as just being present with your family, your friends, enjoying what brings you joy. It could be something you're working on that, you know what, yeah, you want to see results, and yeah, you want to see certain progress, certain elevation or promotion, but enjoy it. Like right now I'm with y'all. I enjoy this. I'm presently doing this. This is what I'm called to do. Whenever God chooses to do anything outside, so be it. But I'm so busy doing this that I won't even recognize that the wait was that long because I was so busy enjoying my present. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I've learned that when you enjoy the present, you enjoy God's presence And the reason why sometimes, not that the wait is long, but why we shouldn't rush the process is because the process is for you and God. That's when he really gets time with you the most. God knows that some of us, if we really were to get some of our prayers answered, we wouldn't really spend as much time with him as we would as we are in the process. Doesn't mean God is punishing you with the process. He just enjoys time with you. And if you can get to the mature place that even after you're done waiting on whatever you're waiting for, and God takes you somewhere, if you mature and you receive the grace to do it, you'll remember him even in the promised land. It's exciting. But yeah, I would say practically, like, enjoy what's right in front of you. Whatever is right in front of you, enjoy it. Whatever it is, don't gotta be deep. Whatever it is, just enjoy it. Stop thinking about the future. Because and this is the cheat code, if you've ever peeped during your journey, all the memories you created, even if it was painful, even when you get to what you think is your destination, the stories you tell at your destination is everything that happened in the journey. All the funny stories, all the character development, all that stuff we went through, like, that's the prize. It's the journey. It's the journey. And I would encourage anybody that's in the journey trying to get to the promise, whatever their promise is, because I believe the promise is God's presence. Make sure you steward your relationships well, because it's not about getting to the top. No. It's about who you go to the top with, because there's no point of getting to the top and you can't share it with nobody you love. There's no point.